So I've spent around 15 hours on Team Ninja's new Souls-like Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, and I am quietly excited for its full release. It's a super aggressive, fast-paced Souls-like whose main focus is on timing and reflexes. The demo does have some issues which I'm really hoping are fully ironed out before release in March, but I am loving what I'm seeing so far. Quick warning, stroke excuse time, I really struggled in a lot of the early footage of Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, and that's because I've been playing a hell of a lot of Elden Ring, then suddenly making the switch to this control system was, well, it was difficult. Anyway, excuses out of the way, let's get into why I think you should be excited for Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. Team Ninja are the studio that brought you Ninja Gaiden, Nioh 1 and 2, and more recently Final Fantasy Strangers of Paradise. I loved Nioh 1 but never got around to playing Nioh 2, but I imagine it bore all the hallmarks of previous Team Ninja titles. Wo Long plays like a tightly focused Nioh. It has less systems to learn, which seems like a good thing in all honesty, because the combat seems much more centered and focused. Similar to Sekiro, there are stance bars, or spirit bars as they are called here, but the way spirit is used in Fallen Dynasty is very interesting once you get your head around it. Your poise or spirit bar also acts as your mana bar, stamina bar, and a damage buff stroke debuff all rolled into one. This means that being aggressive and going forward to attack gives you more fuel for magic attacks, more stamina to dodge, and more damage possibly. This all rolls together to allow you to stance break the enemies and perform a critical attack. Now on top of that, the more spirit you build, the more damage you do. If the spirit bar goes into a red, you're doing less damage and are more likely to be stance broken yourself. This leaves you staggered and open to a critical attack. The combat system is a touch feast or famine, which like any feast is incredible, and well, famines suck, don't they really? It's a really interesting system. It took me a while to get my head around, but once I got into the groove, it made the moment-to-moment combat really addictive. You can feel yourself improving on every run through. It does feel like FromSoft's best offering in that way, in that you're constantly improving bit by bit. However, Team Ninja games are never really FromSoft fanfare. They have their own style, and this game is undoubtedly a Team Ninja game at its core. Following on from the spirit meter, you have the parry system. Now for me, the parry system needs a bit of work. In the demo, it's just not on the level of Sekiro's near perfect parry system. The window seems a touch too tight, and at this point it's not really worth the risk. The whole point of a parry system is that there's big rewards for the big risk. Here the risk is too high and the rewards just not quite high enough. The critical parry window, however, is perfect, but the normal parry window in my opinion should be avoided. The sooner you realise this and focus on attacking and dodging, the better the combat became. Well, in the demo at least. That's one thing I would say about Team Ninja games. They are always built around the combat rather than around the world, and that's the case here, and to be honest, that's not always a bad thing. The loot system from Nioh is present without as much trash, though there still is a lot of trash. Different weapons have different skills attached to them, and you have two types of skills. One is a magic skill and the other is a weapon based skill. The demo had limited loot, but enough for you to really realise that there's a lot of different skills and a lot of different weapon types, which will make your character building completely bespoke and to your own style. Level design is linear, and I've seen that used as a criticism. I don't mind it here because there's a lot of verticality to the levels, and I really like the inclusion of the jump button coupled with the additional verticality. There are telegraph shortcuts that you find in the usual Souls-like games, such as, locked doors you open from the other side, or ladders that you kick down to a boss, but then there's shortcuts you can make up yourself with the jump button, and that's due to the verticality of the levels. For example, jumping off a bridge onto an enemy below and thus skipping a certain section of the level is totally possible here. The map in the demo was a touch bland, a very grey mountainous area with few sections of demon energy or whatever this pink stuff is. I have no issues with a linearish level design. Not everything has to be an open world quest log. Now, a unique system to Wo Long Fallen Dynasty is the morale stroke fortitude system. I really like this system because it creates a small shift to difficulty that rewards exploration down branching paths in the different maps should you be at a certain crossroad that you're just struggling with. Your morale is kind of like a mini level boost you get in each level. Every time you die, the morale resets. However, you can increase the floor of your morale reset by planting flags, which is basically this game's bonfires. Think of it like you get to keep a small bump to your stats for that level every time you find a new bonfire. Now, each bonfire or flag area is guarded by a significantly more difficult mini-boss or enemy. Killing him increases your morale and decreases the morale of enemies around the boss or mini-boss. So in essence, you can go straight to the boss of the level, and if you're a super skilled player, you can take the boss out. If you wish though, you can explore, kill mobs, get more loot, execute, kill mini-bosses, decrease the level of other mobs on the map, and then go to the boss. Character building exists in Fallen Dynasty as different weapons have different scaling for different stats. You can summon different mythical monsters that offer different bonuses. Now these monsters basically sit on the map for a certain amount of time and offer you a little boost, and they do attack if enemies get quite close to the summon. Graphically, the game is okay. I mean, the lack of any vaguely interesting art direction really shows up the lack of graphical fidelity. I mean, to be honest, I thought the game looked a bit bland, but I mean, it is only one level and it's a very, as I said previously, grey, mountainous level. There's not much to sing and dance about here. Overall, I've been really impressed by the Wo Long Fallen Dynasty demo. I've played it a lot. This game feels like a very streamlined Nioh with a touch of Sekiro thrown in that explores Chinese mythology. It's super fast paced, go forward combat based Souls-like that is brutally difficult, but edges the scales towards the player the more you play it. The game releases in March 2023, and I think that's a really good time for me personally. I'm a bit burnt out on Souls-like games right now, so as soon as I finish Elden Ring and complete my very long review of it, I'll be taking a break from Souls-like games, so that's actually a really good time for me, and it gives them time to tie up a few of the issues. One would be the aforementioned parry window that I've talked about, but also the camera sometimes isn't fantastic, especially against multiple enemies. Anyway, hopefully by March I'll be ready to have my butt kicked again by a Souls-like game. Until then, I hope this video got you excited for the game. I think it's got a lot of potential. Thanks for watching. If you played the demo, let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Will you be buying the game? Are you excited for the game? What did you like? What did you hate? Let me know. Other than that, subscribe, like, thank you, usual stuff. Peace. Take care.